Hello students and welcome to a new episode. This is episode 4 covering module 1, unit 1, in which we will be focusing on writing. Now during the first term, we will be working on two types of writing. We will be focusing on narrative type of writing and descriptive type of writing. In today's episode, we will study how to develop our techniques in the narrative type of writing. Now, before we dig deep into the lesson and understand the writing process and what should be done and what shouldn't, let's understand what is meant by narrative type of writing. Now, you as students, you hear and tell stories all the time. During your break time, you tell your friends about what happened during the weekend, so you are natural storytellers. The purpose of narrative writing is to tell a story that makes a point. Some entertain, while others inform readers. Another purpose is to communicate important ideas. You want to deliver to your reader the important ideas that you're trying to express in your narrative writing. It also expands on the importance of an experience or event. So it doesn't have to be fictional, it doesn't have to be a story. If you write something about a personal experience, it is also considered a narrative. There are some guidelines that you need to follow when it comes to narrative writing. It is important to engage the reader in a storytelling format. So when you're writing, try to write it in a way that you are telling a story. State your purpose clearly. Make sure you are stating your purpose, the reason, or clarifying the reason for writing your essay. Use clear and concise language. Make sure that your language is clear, readers can understand your language, and that it is specific. Use personal pronouns. Now, examples of narrative pieces could be stories, which are fictional, and biographies, which are non-fictional. Now, if your narrative writing is not written as a story, so you don't have the elements of a story, you need to focus on informative narrative. And in today's episode, we're going to focus on a specific type of narrative writing, which is a biography. Now, what is a biography? A biography is a written account of another person's life. So you are writing about a real person, whether it was a person who lived long ago, recently, or is still living. It contains basic information about the person's life, their place of birth, their education, their interests, accomplishments, etc. And why do we write biographies? So what's the purpose of writing a biography? Is to share the life of another person with your audience. Maybe you want to inform your audience about how important this person is, or you want to update your audience of the achievements and the life of this person. Now, before we start writing our topic, let's take a look at the writing process, which is a very important process when it comes to writing any piece. Now, the writing process is composed of 5 main stages. Stage number 1 is the pre-writing. Stage number 2 is drafting. Number 3, revising. Number 4, editing. And number 5, publishing. We will go through each and every stage individually now. Let's start with the pre-writing. We will focus on pre-writing for a biography. What are you supposed to do in the pre-writing stage? It is basically the planning stage. For a biography, you are going to choose your subject. The person you choose to write about should be someone famous. So make sure it's someone that you can find articles about, or that when you research you can find information about. Do your research. Take notes of interesting facts, dates, events, accomplishments, etc. And make your plan or create your plan. You can make an outline, a mind map for the report, or use a graphic organizer. So when creating your outline, you will have your essay divided into 3 main parts. You will start with your introduction. Now, what is your introduction for your biography? It's an introductory statement that introduces the person you want to inform the readers of. So you're going to tell the readers about this person. The introduction is your chance to engage the reader and get them excited about checking out your essay. So you want to grab the attention of your reader. You want them to want to read more about this person you're trying to tell them about. Then you have your body paragraphs, which are 2 body paragraphs. Now, each body paragraph should cover a separate point and offer supporting details. So it's not the same point for both body paragraphs. No, you will have one idea for the first body paragraph and another idea for the second body paragraph. Each body paragraph should begin with a topic sentence that states the central point of the paragraph. What is the topic sentence? A sentence that introduces your idea or the idea of this paragraph, and you will provide supporting details for this idea. And you will end with your conclusion, which is where you will wrap up the essay and draw your conclusions. When writing a conclusion for a biography, try to tie the work of the person or their success into modern life. So think of questions like, what was a major accomplishment? Who did they have a major influence on? How is this person going to be remembered by the people? And by this, we will be done with the pre-writing stage, moving on to drafting. Now with drafting, you are going to use the ideas mentioned or created in your plan to write a complete rough draft of the essay. So it's a rough draft. It's not the final thing yet. It's just a rough draft. You're just jotting down your ideas in order. You will develop a more cohesive text to organize your thoughts. So your text here will be more organized. And in this stage, do not worry at all about spelling, grammar, or punctuation mistakes, because all mistakes will be revised in the following steps. Which brings us to the revising stage, or revision. Here, students will review, modify, and reorganize their work with the goal of making it better. So you're going to see if your writing lacks ideas, you want to add more ideas. You will do this during the revision stage. After that, we have the editing stage. And in this stage, you will proofread and correct errors in grammar, spelling, punctuation marks, and edit to improve your style in writing and clarity. And finally, we have the publishing stage. This is when you have your final piece free of errors, and you will share your writing with the rest of the class. And here are the 5 stages for the writing process. Now, with writing, when it comes to grading your writing, whether it was your teacher or a peer review, there are some things that you need to consider. And you need to know how your writing will be graded. So there are rubrics that your teacher follows, and you will be graded on planning. Did you create a sufficient plan? Was there a mind map? Was there a graphic organizer? Was there an outline? Were you able to jot down the ideas that you are going to develop later on? You will be graded on the exposition of ideas and coherence. Are your ideas coherent? Do they go together? Or you have ideas all over the place? Are your ideas clear enough for your topic? You will also be graded on the paragraphing and number of sentences. Make sure you have the correct number of paragraphs and number of sentences. If it tells you to write 12 sentences, do not write less than 12 sentences. You will be graded on grammar, any grammatical errors, on spelling, so make sure you refer back to a dictionary to check your spelling, and you'll be graded on your punctuation and handwriting. So also make sure to write in a neat and clear handwriting. Now that we've gone through the writing process, let's apply the procedure to write a topic about a famous explorer. You can find this task in your student book, page 19. The task tells you to write a biography of 2 paragraphs informing your readers about the famous explorer Felicity Aston, mentioning personal information and her major achievements as an explorer. Let's start. Before writing, you will collect ideas. So this is the planning process here. You will collect ideas and research information on the person. For example, date of birth, place of study, education, and so on. And for your second paragraph, you will also collect ideas about the achievements. So if the person has any major achievements, did they write any books? Did they do any major accomplishments? Now we have our plan. This is how your plan will look like. You can find this in your student book, page 19. We will start with the introduction, which is the topic sentence in this case. Now, to get your readers hooked, try out some of these introduction styles. You can start with a quote. You can include a fascinating story about the person. And you can also describe an incredible accomplishment they achieved in order to grab the attention of your readers. Let's take some of the examples for these introduction styles. Let's look at this example. Embarking on a journey alone across Antarctica is extremely difficult, but for Felicity Aston, the impossible was made possible. You can use this as an introduction statement. You also have another example. Alone in Antarctica on a journey led by muscle power lasting for 59 days seems only possible by the great British explorer Felicity Aston. So we're talking about a story, a fascinating story here. Let's take a third example. Traveled across Antarctica alone, broke the world record and a world keynote speaker. This is the great Felicity Aston. So we talked about an accomplishment here because I want to grab the attention of the reader. So we are going to choose this sentence as our introduction. Embarking on a journey alone across Antarctica is extremely difficult, but for Felicity Aston, the impossible was made possible. Now we will move on to our body paragraphs. You will ask yourself, from where do I get the ideas for my body paragraphs? Well, you will get them from the heading itself, from the task. So for your first body paragraph, you will mention personal information. And the second idea that you have for your second body paragraph is the major achievements as an explorer. So personal information, you're going to do some research on the internet. You're going to look for the name, Felicity Aston. Date of birth, was born on October 7th, 1977. Place of birth, Kent, England. What about facts and achievements? She was the first woman to ski across Antarctica alone. She wrote 3 books. She entered the Guinness World Record in 2012. And she won the Queen's Polar Medal Award. Now that you've gathered all the information that you need, you're going to think of a concluding sentence where you're going to wrap up your ideas and tie the work of Felicity Aston and her success to modern life. So you can say something like, Felicity Aston's career continues to inspire many women around the world. Before we proceed with writing our draft, remember to use capital letter after a full stop. Use full stop to show the end of a sentence. Use a comma to show a pause in a sentence. And use a question mark to show a direct question. Let's write the topic together. So you're going to start with your introduction. Embarking on a journey alone across Antarctica is extremely difficult, but for Felicity Aston, the impossible was made possible. Now I'm going to move on to my body. I want a topic sentence for my body. I'm introducing my first idea, so what can I say? Felicity Aston is a successful British explorer who managed to ski across Antarctica alone. I will support my topic sentence here or my idea by providing further details. So I can say something along the lines, Aston was born on the 7th of October 1977. She was born and raised in the city of Kent, England. She attended the grammar school for girls there and later on studied at the University College of London, where she earned her degree. So do you see how we managed to support our topic sentence with details regarding her personal life? We move on to body paragraph 2, where we will introduce our second idea with a topic sentence. Felicity Aston has made numerous achievements in her field as an explorer. Remember, we're talking about her achievements. So I'm going to support my point here by providing details. In 2012, she entered the world record in the Book of Guinness World Records as the first person to ski across Antarctica alone. That's an achievement here. Aston is a world keynote speaker where she regularly speaks to people around the world about her journeys. Aston has written 3 books about the polar regions. Moreover, she was awarded the Queen's Polar Medal. And you will end with your conclusion, which is Felicity Aston's career continues to inspire many women around the world. Now that we are done with writing our topic, it's time to edit our report before publishing it. So you're going to look for any grammatical mistakes, any spelling mistakes, and so on. Let's look at the paragraph here. As you can see from the red boxes, these are mistakes. Let's identify them. The first one, as you can see, it's a spelling mistake. The prefix here also is wrong, so it's going to be impossible. The second red box here, what's wrong with Antarctica? Good. It has to begin with a capital letter. What about the third red box here, studied? It is obviously a spelling mistake, so you're going to refer back to your dictionary and look for the correct spelling for studied. Now let's look at the second paragraph. The first red box here, we can see that there's a new sentence and something is missing. What is missing? Excellent, a full stop. What about the second red box? She is awarded the Queen's Polar Medal. There is a grammatical mistake here. She was awarded the Queen's Polar Medal. And finally, Felicity Aston's career. Something is missing in this word. Can you figure it out? Excellent, apostrophe S. Then we will move on to the last and final stage, which is the publishing stage. Here, your topic should be complete. Your writing is free of errors. It is a complete final draft that you will share with the class. And this is how your topic will look like. Make sure to indent before your paragraphs. Episode summary. In this episode, we looked at how to write a narrative essay, biography in specific. We looked at parts of a narrative essay. We looked at how to plan a biography, parts of the plan: introduction, body paragraph 1, main idea and its supporting details, body paragraph 2, main idea 2 and its supporting details, and finally we ended with the conclusion. Thank you for watching.